Hey guys, Tim here with Red Wing RC, and I'm here today to show you the XQ Power 4013 servo. And I had one of my crew rig this up on a test against a Hitec 5625, and the XQ absolutely stomped the 5625 in torque, on both speed and centering as well. So then I had him rig it up with a test against the Hitec 7985, which is an $80 servo. And it still kicked butt against it as well, and this is at half the price. We like these servos better than the Power HDs even, because we've seen a 0% failure with them. We tested these servos for months, in the field in our planes before selling them, and then we've been selling them for months and have seen practically a 0% failure rate, like we've said. Actually, I don't know that we've had one come back. Now, that being said, every brand is going to have a dud from time to time. Overall, we would say that they beat the Power HDs in reliability for sure. We think that they beat the Hitecs in performance, and they tie with them in reliability in our minds so far. I would say the XQ is the best buy you can have for your 30cc and bigger planes. So without further ado, let's get you to the butt kicking. The first test we're going to do is a torque test to see which of these servos can lift more and by how much. As you can see, we've got this set up so that they're both on the same receiver with a regulator and a LiPo. So they're both being powered by the same source, fully charged LiPo, and it's regulated down, so it should be even power throughout the entire test. They're both hooked up to the exact same channel, so that when the aileron is moved, they move down and up together. And we're going to start by putting in one of these bolts. Well, we're going to start with a certain amount, probably 10, and then add one of these bolts until they stop. And I believe these weigh about 3 ounces, so we'll get a weight on those and then begin the test. Okay, so we've weighed one of these bolts, and they weigh 5.36 ounces according to our scale, so about 5.3 ounces. We're going to go ahead and start with 8 of these bolts. We have our distance offset to go ahead and stress the, to go ahead and have them fail a little faster, speed up the test. We have them to the outside arm, but they're both set to the exact same distance from the center of the servo. So we're going to start with 8 bolts. So I guess that's going to be about 45 ounces to begin with. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. And let's go ahead and give the Hitec 5625 a test. Okay, it makes it. Going to add one more, 9. Still does it. One more, 10. Again, 11. Alright, so I was able to do 10, and it fails at number 11. So we're going to go ahead and take out the 11th. So it did 10, so we're going to transfer that 10 right over to the power, the XQ Power servo. And we're going to start right at 10 and see if it can begin to even lift that. And it lifts it with no problem. We're going to add another one, 11, 12. Wow, it's still going. All right, 13. Going strong, going on 14 here. Great. Again, 15. Holy cow, this thing is strong. Oop. It's 15. And we're going to go ahead and add number 16 here. Get this guy balanced. Got 16 just barely. I think it's going to fail on 17. We'll see. Yeah, so it got 16. It way outperformed the Hitec 5625. So at 16 of those, you're looking at about Alright guys, the next test we're going to do is a speed test. This is relatively simple. We're going to go ahead and move the servos to the top or bottom and then sweep down and see which one is faster, and we're going to compare the results in slow motion through video editing afterwards. And we'll go ahead and begin that now. Again, this is comparing the Hitec 5625 to the XQ 4013. You can see the XQ has a pretty good jump on the Hitec, which makes sense because the Hitec's rated at about 0.14 seconds, while the XQ is rated at about 0.12. Okay guys, the next test we're going to do is a centering test, and to do this we're just going to lift up and let go and push down and let go and try to see if they center right on the line exactly where they're at now, or if they tend to drift. So we'll go ahead and do that. Looks like they're both pretty good. However, it looks like the XQ again has a slight advantage, whereas the Hitec tends to drift up and down on that line. Sometimes you can see none of that line, and other times you can see a little bit of it. So once again, the XQ is outperforming the Hitec in this test. The final test we're going to do is a resolution test. This is just a general test, just kind of an aesthetic observation to see if there's any significant jumping or breaks in the resolution of the movement. So all we're going to do is lift up and then travel down slowly all the way to the bottom, and then let it go back up. So looks like both of them perform really well on this. After seeing how well the XQ 4013 did in the torque test against the Hitec 5625, we wanted to give it a bigger challenge and pin it up against the Hitec 7985. The 7985 is price-wise well out of its class. The 7985 goes for about $80, whereas these XQ servos retail for about $40, $45. So you're talking double the price, and at times we've had them on sale for even less than that. So easily double the price, and we want to see how they perform. And again, these XQ servos have titanium gears or waterproof, which none of the Hitec servos that we've compared these to have so far. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the original 16 bolts, which is about 86 ounces. Right now we have 15 in here, just so we start just a hair lower. Make sure it's pulling it up. So we've got about 80 ounces on there now. Going to lift it. Okay, does the job. Going to go ahead and put our 16th bolt in. Still does it. Let's go ahead and try 17, just make sure it fails. Oh, it just barely does it that time. So that's 17 in there right now. Barely does it. And 18. Okay, so it's failed on that. So 17 bolts. So we'll go ahead and leave all 18 in there. Just transfer it right over to this Hitec and see if it can do that, or if it can do more. Alright, so we've got all 18 now on the Hitec 7985. Okay, it is not lifting it, and neither did the XQ, but it did do 17. And the Hitec is not doing 17. It's not doing 16. It is not even doing 15 here. 14, barely doing 14 of these bolts. Let me add this 15th again and see if barely doing 15. 16 it can't do. So it does 15 after giving it a second try here. So you're looking at, again, this guy doing 17 bolts to this guy's 15. So outperforming this, you know, price-wise higher class servo, easily demolishing it here in this test again. So you can see the XQ servos deliver on performance and price, and we at Red Wing have seen them perform on reliability. They come well packaged in a nice clear case, all the accessories, horns that you need. They have all titanium gears, they're waterproof and cordless digital. Really, we recommend picking up some of these before the price on these go up, which with great products like these, they always do. Thanks again, guys.